Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the VULCAN Report. This end of day report is for trading on Monday, June the 26th, 2017. Let's see if we can make this quick. Basically, it's a dull and boring day. Not a lot happening. Recently, I did see an article in Zero Hedge concerning ticker symbol FFMGF, First Mining, blah, blah, blah company. Anyway, this is a company that's been in our system for some time now. Really not a lot happening here, but some people believe that this is in play. And, you know, it doesn't have to have any validity to it. It doesn't even have to have a reason. If millions of people are going to pile into this stock, then it's possible it could move. It is a penny stock, trading at 54 cents. So, truth be told, you know, it could be a pump and dump candidate. I really don't care what the reason is. If it's going to move, I'll bite. You know, I'll go long. Why not? You know, if people are going to come in here and move the stock, I might as well make a few bones off of it myself, you know. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this thing is any time near to get moving. Look at this weekly chart. All right, you're bumping up against resistance right here. This stock is going to need to close above 57 cents this week in order to, you know, keep the momentum moving forward. Then you got this Kumo cloud of resistance here. Probably chop around if it could even get up to 70 cents. I don't know. Another thing to note here, this stock is rather thinly traded in comparison to some other penny stocks. You would think that there would be more, you know, open interest in this, but it's just not. You're lucky to get 2 million shares off in a week. You know what I'm saying? So, like for instance, this one right here. If I can get it to come up. All right, on the weekly chart here on the ticker BTSC, all right, it has almost 40 million. You know, that's 58 million, 253 million here. And this is on their weekly. All right, so far this week you got 6.7 million shares going off. But as you can see, this one averages, you know, double digits in the millions. So this one, BTSC, it's a little bit different. It's a penny stock too, and it's been sliding, but you know, it has potential. I went ahead and got out. Figured I'd wait until it's really ready to move, so I'll just keep my eye on this one. All right, let's see. Moving on, let's take a look at GBTC. There's more talk about the whole Bitcoin thing. It's pretty technical, but basically dealing with what's coming up in August. For those of you who are not in the know, you're probably going to want to do some research on it so you can get understanding. If I have time, I'll do a video breaking it down, getting more in depth. But basically, it's not going to affect Bitcoin, and it just will affect possibly, you know, the way that it's priced, the pricing mechanisms, the mechanics of it. Can we see a shakeup? It's possible, but let's be truthful. Here's a weekly chart, right? And you see how we're like at this flag thing. So we can break out or break down, but to be quite honest, you can see we've been in a downtrend with the momentum. So even if when August rolls around, which is right here, we can still find ourselves just in a continuation pattern of this bearish pattern. So you just a continuation in the bearish pattern. You don't really need a story, and you don't need a reason to know that you're either bullish or bearish. And right now, the market's been coming off. Can it bounce from here? Of course. But if the market continues in a downward course, and then when August rolls around, we get an acceleration to the downside, that's not, oh, see, the August prophecy was right. No, the market's already in a downtrend. And it's just moving along the same lines. That trajectory has not changed. So stories don't make up the reason for price action. price action itself is the reason behind the story. So this is what it is. All right. So moving right along, let's see if we can look at something else. Yeah, MyGen has been a very, very high flyer lately, and it's taken a breather today. Keep in mind, on these weekly charts, we are in the Kumo cloud of death. You cannot trust the price action. It could break out tomorrow, come up in here, and then only find itself right down through the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So price action cannot be trusted in the cloud. So if you're going to take a position in the cloud, you need to be careful and be nimble. All right, because you may find yourself long one day, short the next day, long the next day, short the next day, and just back and forth because you're consolidated within the cloud. All right, so you're not trending when you're in the cloud. You're consolidated regardless of what your price pattern is. You're still in the no man's land cloud. Just remember that. All right, NVIDIA also took a break, pulling back just slightly, as you can see. All right, it's still moving good on this weekly. Wants to go up here and follow this pointer right here. Wants to make that test. So you know it's going north regardless of where or how far we pull back. This needs to be dealt with, this bar right here. So that's where you're going. All right, as far as the stock market in general, looking at XIV, it broke out today, hit a new high at $87.13, marching on its way to $100 a share, and just non-stop rampage along the way. So we know it's going to get there. Looking at the mighty QQQ, well, we have pulled back, but you see we reversed. You see, like I told you back here with these two down bars, and now here we are reversing and turning back up again. It's about to break out. The Qs are coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Qs are coming. All right, people believe that the unwinding has ceased with the GDXJ. Yeah, we got some bars coming up here. Yeah, this thing was over shorted. But that doesn't mean it can't still go back down still. At the end of the day, like I told you, the gold stocks are a peculiar beast, just like gold and silver are peculiar beasts. They're commodities that are also currencies. Therefore, they're subject to those winds of change that affects those two categories. And this is no different. GDXJ is no different. It's a stock, but it's a mining stock within the gold space. Therefore, it's going to benefit from what happens with the commodity gold and what happens with the price of gold acting as a currency. So it's so many factors, and this is where we are. It's trying to fight its way back up, bumping against resistance right here. A close above 35.25 this week will be super bullish and help get it to the cloud, outside of the cloud, and up the rampage here. So it could be marching to 42 bucks from here. Long way to go, but this resistance is not going to be easy. Failure up in here would put us below $30 a share in the GDXJ. We shall see. Let's see. Speaking of gold, looking at gold right now, and it just can't get its act together. Gold says, forgive me, I will do better. It gives you hope with a bar right here, this green bar. I've changed my ways, and then nope. Here gold is again, letting you down. Gold is still drunk in the street, embarrassing you in front of your friends and family, and you have to make excuses for him constantly because he just won't lay off the sauce. He's a drunk man stumbling in the alley. He's struggling. You got a top, you got another top, not looking good. Head and shoulder pattern in effect. We're coming down to here. All right. You know where this lifestyle is going to lead Mr. Gold, who has a drinking problem. He won't stop drinking. And these pointers down here are saying, hey, come on down here in the gutter. Come on down here. And this is where the momentum is going. We've lost that momentum. He's lost all self-respect. Right here, we lost that self-respect. We rallied but failed. Then here we go again. It's just not looking good. Mr. Gold is waiting for everyone just to give up on him and say, you're a lost cause. You are out of my portfolio, out of my life. And then that's when he is going to rip off his shirt and tie, and underneath will be a Superman blue outfit and a red cape. And then he's going to fly up here to the heavenlies. So right now we turn our backs on you, Mr. Gold, but we're going to keep an eye on you, because if we see you go into that telephone booth, we're going to be right there on it. All right, so just wait for Clark Kent to put down the vodka bottle, wait for him to put down the Jack Daniels, get into that telephone booth, probably around in here. He'll get into the booth, and then he'll rip off his clothes, and underneath you'll see the Superman outfit. So we'll wait and see. All right, looking at silver. All right, silver, you know, you have been very disappointing. You have been breaking your mother's heart. You know, you running with them gangs. You know what I'm saying? You slanging that coke. You know, you shooting people's portfolios, blowing them up. Look at this. You came down and hit this low here. After you hit the low here, then you came down and tested it here. Made us think, okay, we held support, didn't break it, and then boom, back up again. But you're playing games, though. You know, all he did was take off his bandana, but what you didn't know is he was wearing his bandana in his back pocket. He didn't have it on his head no more. This showed you that right here. See, this is still a little pointer. All right, you got a pointer. You got a pointer here too, but this is a consolidation. We talked about this some time ago, explaining to you the multiple pointers and the total indecision within the Kumo cloud, just chopping back and forth, top of the cloud, bottom of the cloud, underneath the cloud, back inside the cloud, underneath the cloud, just a whole lot of price action, but going nowhere. All right, and that's what you see here. All right, so put your rag down and give us something here. All right, stop doing drive-bys on people's portfolios and putting holes in it, Mr. Silver. Get your act together. We got resistance up in here. All right, he's resisting change up in here. Need to close above $17.15 this week to not only put an end to this, but to turn the tide. But you know what? We're not going to expect too much. All right, Mr. Silver comes from humble beginnings, grew up in a rough neighborhood, so the gang life was attractive to him. And right now he's struggling to close above $16.79. That's what he needs to change his life just for this week. That'll give us hope that we can get another run like this, another 4-week run. I'm counting on you, Mr. Silver. I know you can do it. We believe in you. But for right now, we got to turn our back on you. Looking at natural gas. Natural gas is stuck in the Kumo cloud of indecision. Total flatline. Major disappointment back here. Couldn't hold the rally. Now it's slipping. Seems like every week we're getting a new low within the Kumo cloud. The thing that gives me hope is that we know at the end of this, it's probably going to consolidate for the rest of the year. Probably not going to do too much the way this cloud is shaping up. Price action can get going though. It can change. A pattern can change. Just all things being equal, we're flatlining. All things being equal, we flatline. All right. Leading into the end of the year. Possible a rally by the end of the year, by November or something. But the rate we're going, who knows? It's just dead in the water. Hopefully that can change. Last but not least, crude oil. Crude oil has been breaking hearts. playing games with people's emotions, making them think one thing and it's something else. And here you are. Just the range is just wide, man. Look at this. I warned you. I told you we were going to the pointer. Did we not? Did not the pointer, the slash gap get filled? Yes, it did, right up in here. And now she might head fake you and turn and run up to this trend line resistance right here at 47. Don't get it twisted. Crude oil is a gangster. Crude oil will punch you in the face if you are not careful. Trade it if you must, but understand that this is the most gangsterous market on the planet. And it acts like the Bermuda Triangle. A storm can come up without warning right in the middle of a sunny day and destroy you. And that'll be the end of you. So be careful if you're going to trade this gangster market. There's so many geopolitical forces in play right now in this market that you can't even call it heads or tails. All right, one day, momentum's on, then it's off, then it's on, then it's off, then it's on, then it's off. It's just, this is a mess. This chart is a mess. This is an absolute mess. You have gone nowhere since back here. You're still at the same price you were in November the 17th of 2016. Look at you. You tell me. Look at that. Look at the line. Look at the line going across. Look at the line going across. You are the same price you were a year ago, people. Look at that. The price has not changed. If you got long or short on November the 7th, November the 7th of 2016, that week, you are now the same price you were. If you walked away and came back, you know, all this time later, now here we are in June, it's the same price it was. All right, 8 months ago. So 8 months of going absolutely nowhere. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I rest my case. Ain't nothing going on. Let's do bonds and then I'm done. All right. I warned you about the bonds. I told you. Veri Bonds is a beast. All right. I told you that he was going to keep climbing and march up toward the bottom of the Kumo cloud. You're at 156.27 on the close, people. You broke 157. When we were talking, you were down to 153. All right. You have rallied 4 full points in the bonds. That is massive. That's enormous. So anyone who was caught short at 153 is on welfare today. You just blew up. And blowing up is not a good thing in trader talk. In trader talk, blowing up is bad. Very bad. Very, very bad. Anyone caught short here, you blew up. You're done. You're out of the game. You're bankrupt. 4 points. What are you going to do? I told you don't play with them bonds. I've been told the collapse of the bond market. The bond market. I tried to tell you not to listen to them fools, them nuts. You don't hear them talking that jive now, do you? You don't hear them saying nothing. I can't find a bond collapse article nowhere. Can you? I can't find one on YouTube either. The bond collapse. The bond apocalypse. Bond apocalypse. China's dumping bonds. Dumping U.S. bonds, bond apocalypse. Napoleon bond apart. Bonds blown apart. I tell you, when will they ever learn? Trade what you see, not what you think. All right? Short these bonds. Rates are about to increase right here. No. I told you. Well, hello 170. It's in your future, folks. All things being considered, the trajectory this is on, 170 is where you're going. Try to raise a rate then. I want to see them do it. I want to see them try to raise rates when bonds are 170. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Look at that. Unbelievable. All right, I'm done. There's really nothing to talk about today. It's a boring day. It's Monday. What can I say? Remember, pulsewavetrading.com. Come on over, learn how to trade these markets. Learn how you can create an additional income stream for yourself. Make some money off the foolishness of the Fed, the failure of the Fed. Learn how to stick it to the central bank. PulseWaveTrading.com. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Peace.